We live in a world where music is practically invisible. It floats in the cloud, streams directly to phones, and takes up zero physical space. Yet, at the end of a great live show, fans still crowd the merch table, looking for something they can actually hold in their hands. It doesn't seem to matter that most new cars don't have disk drives, or that laptops dropped CD trays a decade ago. When a fan connects with your performance, they want a physical souvenir to prove they were there. This puts independent creators in a tough spot financially. If you spend your limited budget on the wrong physical media, you end up with boxes of expensive coasters gathering dust in your closet. But if you show up empty-handed, you leave hundreds of dollars in lost revenue on the table. To figure out how to navigate this, we're going to look at Atlanta Disc. They are a short-run duplication service with a massive catalog of options, from budget spindles to premium packaging. We'll use their pricing tiers as our baseline to analyze what actually works today. To maximize your investment, you must align the format you choose with the specific ways your audience actually consumes media. To do that, we need to evaluate the three main avenues of physical distribution. First, volume promo. Second, premium merch and digital bridges. Before you spend a dime on any of them, you have to run what we call the merch table reality check. This means weighing the physical playback hardware your fans actually own against their psychological desire to support you. Look at this checklist. Today, cross off the car CD player and the laptop disk drive. Playback hardware is practically non-existent. But psychologically, the desire for a physical souvenir gets a massive checkmark. Fans buy merch as a direct way to support independent artists. The financial trap springs when artists misunderstand this dynamic. If you buy the wrong type of media to fulfill that emotional demand, you misallocate your funds and end up holding dead inventory. Navigating duplication tiers successfully requires strategic alignment. Every single disc or card you print must serve an explicit, predefined purpose for your specific fan base. Let's start with the first category, the handout. This is the tier built for street-level promotion, DJ mixtapes, and institutional giveaways like church ministries. This comparison table shows our baseline. Looking at the first column for Atlanta Disc's bronze and silver packages, you can get 50 CDs on a spindle for $25, or 100 for $45. That breaks down to under 50 cents a unit. At that price point, the outcome is pure volume. You can hand these out at networking events or on the street without a second thought. But notice the trade-off. Bare discs or clear plastic sleeves carry zero perceived retail value. You cannot put these on a merch table and expect fans to pay a premium for them. You must treat this tier strictly as a marketing expense. It generates awareness, not direct revenue. Now, if your goal is monetization at live events, you need the second category, the souvenir. This requires a heavier investment. Atlanta Disc's brass package puts your CDs in full-color jewel cases for $138 per 50 units. If you upgrade to 4-panel digipacks, it's $159 for a batch of 50. The outcome here is a professional, retail-ready product. Fans view a full-color digipack as a collectible item, which means you can easily price it at $10 to $15 and generate a high retail margin. The risk sits heavily in the upfront cost. If you don't have a highly dedicated fan base actively buying at your shows, you'll be left holding on to expensive, unsold boxes. Upgrading from a $25 spindle to a $159 digipack is only a smart financial move if you have hard evidence that your audience is ready to open their wallets. This brings us to a third, slightly unconventional category built specifically for the streaming era, the digital bridge. We're looking at Atlanta Disc's streaming or download cards. A batch of 250 units runs between $65 and $100. That drops your cost down to roughly 26 cents a unit. The outcome is a cheap, tangible item that links your fans directly to your modern platforms, like Spotify or Apple Music, usually through a custom QR code. The trade-off is physical permanence. A streaming card lacks the bulky heft of a CD case. Without that weight, a fan might just treat it like a disposable business card. Size heavily dictates a fan's perception of value. A dense, printed digipack feels like an album. A lightweight card feels like a flyer. But as a strategic hybrid, it's highly effective. It satisfies the human need to physically hand a fan something at a show, while prioritizing digital traffic over physical revenue. The digital bridge cleanly solves the hardware playback problem. You just have to be willing to sacrifice the high-margin cash revenue that premium packaging provides. Let's run your situation through the output optimizer to match your primary goal with the exact right package. If you're a bootstrapped indie artist or DJ, your main goal is high-volume networking in spaces where legacy CD hardware might still be used. Stick strictly to bronze and silver bulk promo spindles, avoiding premium cases. Now, if you're a touring band relying on live performance income, you must recoup travel costs directly at the merch cable. Fans buy CDs to show support, making a 4-panel digipack a necessary investment. Finally, for the digital-first creator with a younger demographic, your audience consumes music exclusively on their phones. You should abandon traditional CDs entirely. Utilize cheap streaming cards to push physical foot traffic straight into your digital streaming funnels. The low pricing of short-run duplication is only a competitive advantage if you purchased a correct product tier for your needs. Do not buy physical media out of ego, nostalgia, or outdated industry advice. Maximizing your return requires stripping away all assumptions. You must buy the exact format matching the real-world consumption habits of your current bass fans.